Boom, hello and welcome to the Protector Nation podcast, a podcast that is dedicated to making the world a better place, making the world a safer place by making good people dangerous. In this podcast, we're going to study and understand what it takes to protect your family, to protect your loved ones, because we all know that you have a few basic needs, food, water, and shelter, but you also have the need to protect those things. In a world and society where evil runs rampant and is sometimes left unchecked, learning how to protect yourselves and your loved ones is becoming more and more important. And so we strive to raise the level of accountability to those who would do evil on this planet by making sure that the sheep, that the flock, is more well-versed in protecting themselves and their loved ones. If that sounds interesting to you, then sit back and enjoy the show. Out.
Boom! What's up, you guys? Byron Rogers here with another awesome episode of Executive Protection Lifestyle Podcast. I've got Yehuda Shmuel with me, and we are going to talk about a pretty amazing piece of equipment. We're going to learn a little bit about him, but a piece of equipment that is going to be showing itself in the executive protection field, and also, well, it's already showing itself in the military. And there's also some applications for it in the civilian sector as we really realize that personal protection and the ability to protect yourself and your family is becoming more and more important. So, Yehuda, it's an honor to have you with me, man. How you doing?
Doing fine. Thank you. Thank you for having me, Byron. I've been following you. I think you're doing a great job out there, putting yourself out there, teaching the guys the correct way of security. It's not just a fable story. You know, there's a lot of people out there that gives make-believe security. But since I've been following you, you are really one of the experts that really are taking the brand, the Executive Protection Nation, the brand and everything like that. You're taking out there and you're really putting it out there, and you really show the people that it's not just hocus pocus. You know, like one of the things that you showed about attire, you know, especially in the VIP protection business, you have to dress properly, but it also has to be comfortable. It doesn't have to help you have stovepipe pants and you have to now all of a sudden defend yourself, and then you cannot even throw a punch.
Can't move.
You cannot move and you're stuck because your tailor stovepiped your pants.
Yeah, man.
So it was quite an interesting experience, and I love the way that you represent yourself, the company, and I really enjoy it. You know, you have really putting it out there. You're giving the correct information. It's not just window dressing, because as we know, there are people out there in this industry, unfortunately, that's are not the real deal. People are hiring them, and it's like show business, monkey business.
Yeah.
But we are not there. Yeah, and you're not one of those guys, and I'm very happy for that. And I've seen that expert. A lot of people are talking. I've got great positive feedback about you and your company and the things that you're doing. So that's one of the reasons why I approached you, and to talk about who I am, where I come from. You know, I haven't been on any. I've been on one advertisement for a insurance company that I did in India in 2019 as an angry driver.
Oh wow. That sounds fun.
I was there for 7 days, and you know, it's that's the only time that I was ever filmed in my entire life. Never been filmed there, and I was filmed in 1998, and the South African Police Special Task Force in South Africa, out training my unit that has been filmed by Jeff, a very famous special forces guy that goes all over the world and films the SAS and everything, and he applied and applied and applied, and after that, after 25 years, my unit gave access to him. Most of the operators of today, they're working in Iraq, Afghanistan, all over the world. I'm the only guy of my unit that managed to come to Israel, opening up a security company, got certified by the Ministry of Defense. Basically, the background of my unit was they were developed in 1976 because of a Fox Street hostage situation that happened in South Africa. There, the South African government saw there's a real need for hostage release unit.
Okay.
So my friend, Captain Shane White Willard, he wrote this book. Don't know if I've showed you.
Yeah, I saw that you sent me an image.
Yeah,
of that.
the Special Task Force, and that's, well, I'll show you again. That's the operator's badge.
Yeah.
He's a captain, he's a very good friend of mine. And he basically is author of 2 books. And he basically wrote everything about our unit. And it's the first book that's ever been written about our unit and our operations that we've done. I was in 2000, I was in America where I trained I was one of the, how do you say it, one of the students at this police state academy in Louisiana with PC Knowles and his team. Veteran people, and with Delta Force team people that was in his Delta Force medical professionals and everything like that. And we were basically sent over, invited by the American government. And then at the end of the day, my unit was invited to stay there for 2 months to help with hostage release training, because they've never seen something like this. I was a hostage release operator and instructor for my unit. I rewrote all the South African Police Special Task Force training manuals before I left. And I was one of the founders of the waterborne operations. Today, it's a course that's been accredited by the police itself in South Africa. So you have to do that course in order to get a bump in your salary.
Okay.
So that's what I left behind. Now I'm just building a new company. Global Secure Consulting basically came into being because of all the attacks that happened with first with the Chabad synagogue, where they started to shoot the Jewish people during the times of worship. And I was approached by my friend, and he said to me, "Listen, his name is Steve Putterman. He and his wife is having a company that's called Wellness and Wellness Company in Israel."
Okay.
And he basically approached me with that idea, and I said to him, "Okay, as Yalla in Hebrew said, Yalla, let's do it."
Yeah.
So I started with Global Secure Consulting, and since then it's been a very exciting ride, because the company opened, and then all of a sudden COVID-19 came, and I started to set up all these things. And during this time, I had to get all the licenses and everything like that. And I got, I have a license, a vendor's license, in order to sell products for the Ministry of Defense. Then I have a security exports license. This meaning all my services concerning consulting and security and VIP protection, like anything that's concerning with security and protection and safety, I've got now the license to export my services to friendly people. And if I want to deal with other countries that is not on the list, I have to apply for a special permission in order to collaborate with that. So it's not let's say the relationship, right? Yeah. Let's say with Dubai is now a very interesting situation, because a lot of Israelis, because of the peace process that's happening in Israel, a lot of Israelis are traveling now to Dubai. Wherever we go, wherever the Jewish people go, there's always a type of anti-Semitism or a type of cloud following them,
Up, yeah.
And even my allies, American allies like me and you, working together, you connected with me, connected with the Ministry of Defense. There's always some kind of a thing that's trying to follow us. So for me, as a professional, I always try to be on top of the things. I have 3 degrees.
Yeah.
I have bachelor's of arts degree in police science and criminology. Okay. The police science part is subjects with that's to do with Criminal Procedure Act, evidence of law, administrative law, and the Constitution of South Africa, which I have a cum laude in the Constitution of South Africa.
Wow.
Okay.
Yes,
which is very important. And then I have a master's degree in counterterrorism, homeland defense, and a master's degree in cyber terrorism.
Wow.
Now, cyber terrorism is quite an interesting subject, because if you see with COVID-19 and development, people can spam you, Instagram, everything just went, it tripled with all the activities.
Well, and the disinformation campaigns are just ridiculous. They're blinding almost. You can't find your way through the internet.
Yeah, and this is a thing that the people don't realize. Everybody think, okay, everybody's now running crazy about cyber, but at the end of the day, we always have to have that person on the inside. We know that we had an American guy that ran off to Russia. I'm not going to mention our names in order to put ourselves in a predicament here. But you know what he did? He took information and he left, And you always will have that somebody, that whistleblower, that will try to put the security into a predicament. If you don't have anything to hide, why do you need to worry? Why need to blow whistle? You live in a safe country. You need to be kept safe. So we had now recently a cyber attack. Shearbit is one of the biggest insurance companies in Israel. Later, they found a friend of mine. He asked me, "What do you think about it?" A lot of things came out, and it's because of this and that. And I said, "Well, most of the times it's social engineering. There has to be somebody that has to have access to the server to plant something in order to get access to it." And then later, they found out the person, there was an employee, left his email open, and somehow the people got access. But Israel didn't give into that. They didn't give into the demands of the hackers.
Israel doesn't give in, man. I love that about Israel. You guys are serious. You own your space.
Man, they play with fire. I'm telling you.
Yeah, exactly, man. No apologies. This is what we're gonna do. Politically correct or not, this is handle it.
This is our country. We're living in. If you want to read a very good book, it's the Prime Ministers. One of the books is one of the autobiographies of Golda Meir. What she has done. I've been reading a lot about Israelis' history and everything like that as well, in order to understand more. Because after my master's degree, it didn't end there, because there were so many operations, so many things that we did in order to keep this country together, to keep it where it is. And I've seen that everybody that deals with Israel or works with Israel, they're just going forward. We are number 3 on the NASDAQ today with startups and high-tech.
That's outstanding.
And we're smaller than, I think, the New Jersey.
New Jersey, man. Yeah, no, that's real. That's real, man. I love it. And you guys have affected the entire world. You've changed the entire world.
And the equipment, the working equipment, the technology. Even in South Africa, the Uzi was created in 1955. Okay, there's a lot of things around the Uzi, how it was being spread and who was it sold. But my unit were the first that got the Uzi. My unit were the first that got the Leatherman. We got my unit was basically Israeli bred and born unit in South Africa, and we basically did cross training until the switch over from Nelson Mandela to the new government, and then everything.
You said you and Ivor as well know each other as well, correct?
Yeah, Ivor Terret is also South African. He is in the security community. Great guy, extremely professional. Absolutely. And we have a very good relationship with one another. He helped with the securing the Jews in South Africa, in Johannesburg and Cape Town, with another gentleman as well. And it's a great. Each and every time when you deal with security, you have to be so specific. In South Africa, I was chosen all the time to protect the Jewish communities in the times of the holidays, high holidays, because we had a big problem in 1999 and 2000 when Pachat and Padaf came. People Against Gangsterism and Drugs was actually a front organization, a Muslim organization that was trying to kill terrorists, but they were funded by Al Qaeda. And they were bombing up police stations and everything. And I was responsible in order to keep. I was put together in order to protect certain generals and certain directors of the police as well, because these people went out and a guy would put out of his driveway and they come and they shoot him, or a guy that's carrying an investigation docket. You don't see that in America.
Yeah. Well,
So
and it's that's the thing, and that's why I got to get Ivor back on here for season 2 interview, man. We got to do another one. You guys in your part of the world, security is it's a way of life. It's more than just a job. It really is a lifestyle. It's one of the things I love about being in Israel, is there's security minded people everywhere. There's weapons. People are prepared. They're willing, capable, and prepared. And that's what I really, it's like kindred spirits. It's like people that are ready to do what needs to be done. If there's an event, many people move towards the event to deal with it. And that's kind of a lot of the model for the Protect Your Nation that I really want to implement. I want to help America to be more like that, where good people are willing, capable, and prepared and able to bring accountability anytime evil decides to, try to victimize us, So that's something I commend you guys for. And it's funny because, your experience in security, it's been a way of life for you for quite some time.
this is what I followed. This is my dream. I always wanted it. The background of you see of the lion with the head, that is actually an interesting logo.
Yeah.
I designed. I was working. I protected the Coca-Cola family for 2 years.
Wow.
And I was their senior project manager. And then I was walking around on their place. I'm not going to mention the location because I don't want to get into conflict with that. So I saw like a cement bag, and I saw the lion. So I took a picture of the lion, and then I drew it myself. And so the first image was like, wait, if I can take it off here, I have it here on my board. So the first, it was actually funny. So the first logo, it came out like this.
Wow.
With a line, okay?
Yeah.
And so then a friend of mine, he saw this and he saw Global Secure Consulting.
Right.
And we changed the lion head into that. And then he had like a circle around it. And then I said, but let's change this to, it looks like buildings. The image around is like buildings. And let's put the crown, to make it more royal and more elite.
But I think it has like a digital vibe to it as well with the
and so it gives the cyber, it gives the digital, it basically gives you the everything that you require in order to feel that
protected.
you protected and you deal with the real deal. It's not just like you're not going to deal with somebody that just fell off from the ship yesterday, did some kind of training schedule, and then he comes and he consults you.
Right. And the other thing too is now that digital layer has become so important. But you're you have so much. You're like a professor. I see you as like a professor. Like that's the vibe I get from you. I could listen to you talk. Like the whole first part of this episode was so much information for people to soak up. It's just that was awesome. That was outstanding, my friend. I want to get into some of the more kind of deeper levels of you with some of these questions. My opening question, one of my favorite questions is, who are you at your core? So the guy that's been doing all this work in all of these theaters around the world, deep down inside, what drives you?
Security, safety.
Yeah.
There's there are no second chances. I hate. There are no second chances. That's my. Because life matters. There are no second chances.
Yeah, that's the title.
This is my. There are no second chances, and so many things can be prevented if you study the wars. If you go through each and every war. In my studies, we did a lot of wars, and one of the biggest wars was the Yom Kippur War.
Yeah.
And the people that were involved, and the agencies that were involved, and who was involved, and what happened there really, and it could have been stopped, and all the the jealousy between the agencies and the jealousy between this guy and that guy and governments. So for me, when I look at a client, first of all, I don't deal with criminals. I don't deal with mafia. I stay away from the criminal element. I stay away from people that are not. It's not. It's not a person that he does his thing shady. You know, all these shady. Dealing with clients that is honest is the best thing that you can have, because then you know
100%.
if you have a Warren Buffet or you have a Trump or you have a whatever, you know, if you have a person that's there, a businessman, if you have JT Fox or you have Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, whatever type of celebrity that you're bringing. Now, each and every person, maybe today is an underdog, tomorrow is a celebrity. You don't know.
And
but
maybe today he's a celebrity and tomorrow he's an
or
underdog.
he's an underdog,
you know?
yeah. But
So,
the thing is, what the people don't understand, you become a celebrity and then all of a sudden you don't pay attention anymore to your security. You know, as the people look at their bank statements every day, you have to take care of your personal security. Just as you are the branding your security, the professional expert that we are, and like yourself and like myself, you know, I have to upgrade myself every day. When I walk out of my door in the morning, I have to breathe in that 5 minutes and look around and see if my situation is okay. Because just as I was an operator in my time, you know, who knows? Maybe somebody could have, you know, you have a person that has comes back, and you have
100%.
to be, it's not actually you're a paranoid person, but this is what it is. Personal security starts with you. It doesn't start with the police or the government, or is the response. Yes, the police and the government is responsible for your public security, for the safety and everything, but you are responsible for your family. You're responsible for taking your family to the shopping mall, to the shopping center, to some kind of a place where there's a pool. Maybe there's a tailgating party. You know, I was in America, I did tailgating.
Yeah, that's what's up. But you're responsible for doing it safely. Your family is your first client. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how you have to see it. Personal security starts with you. This is where you started.
Yeah, man. And also I think a lot of guys, you know, like we have different paths, you know, like the quiet professional, you know, you've been off the grid for most of your career, you know, guys like me, where I'm a lot more visible, you know, but there's still operational security elements that must be in place, you know, people. And I think with some of the things I see on social media with people, you know, showcasing who their clients are and things like that, I don't know if they realize that when you do that, you bring onto yourself a lot of the security risks that the individual has. And therefore you become another route to that client. You and your family become things that can be leveraged. And so, you know, those are things I always try to protect, and something I want to get out to the industry. Hey, think twice before you let the world know who you work for, you know, because you take on the risk you're trying to protect them from when you showcase those things. You know, people
you don't want people to know that. You don't want people to know that you are the guy that's doing it.
Exactly.
You know, my aunt, when I was, I can tell you now, we went to visit her and she gave me a book as a present. She believed in books, you know. She's today she's a clinical psychiatrist.
Wow.
She's in her late 70s. My uncle was the dean of the Rhodes University in South Africa. Today he's retired. But she inspired me. My uncle inspired me a lot in order to be in academics as well. But I said, then she gave me this book. It's called The Super Trooper. Super Trooper book. It was like a comic book. Okay. And on this comic book, it was this SAS type of person dressed in a mask and everything, with weapons and everything, and he had boots that he can walk on landmines and it will not blow him up and everything, you know. And that for me was the
coolest of the cool,
the moment in my life that I said I want to be like this, you know. And as I grew up, I said to myself, if I want to join the unit, my unit, I want to be the most highest trained police officer and hostage release operator in this world. And I want to make a difference, you know. And my career in this time in the South African police, in the South African Police Special Task Force, I started out in the local criminal record center where we dealt with fingerprints and forensics and crime scenes and murder scenes. I got so tired of dead bodies in that 2 years of my period of my life. I got sick of it. And then after that, it was investigations. And then I went and I studied, and I did my studied through the police academy. And in this time, I was able to, when we had on our breaks, it was in the police academy, they give you the time in order to choose a police station. So you can go work at undercover unit, you can go work in narcotics, you can go work wherever you want to be in that 3-time period that you studied. And then I said to myself, I'm going to the task force. And the people said to me, you're crazy. I said, no, I want to be the best.
Yes,
I want to go there.
Not for everybody.
And I've done it,
it's not for everybody, yeah.
And my friend, I don't know if he knew it, you know, nobody knew about this picture. I'm going to show you in this book, is that you see this guy on the rope.
Yeah.
The blonde head. That's me.
Yeah, wow.
That blonde head guy.
You had blonde hair?
I was a rebel. No.
You were wild, man.
I was a little bit of a rebel. The first guy came with peroxide hair at the unit because if you're an Afrikaans, you know, it's like you don't do this in this culture. You know, you have to have a nice haircut, nothing, but dyeing your hair, forget about it, brother.
You were just on the fringe, man. Yeah,
I was the first one with a blonde peroxide hair, and I got it all the time. You know, I just stand out, and I just did the things. I just wanted to be.
Path.
I just wanted to make it make a difference.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I want to change. When I was in America, I saw Danner boots, and then I wanted to bring the Danner boots, and I had to go through so many bureaucracy. And then they chose Magnum. I said, you chose Magnum, but Danner said we buy one pair and we get one pair free. You know, it is helmets. I was the first one. My one Captain Blom, he passed away in a horrible shooting skydiving accident. He was one of the founders of our unit. Okay, and he had a helmet that he brought from America, from a SWAT team. I said, "What's the thing doing now? It's catching dust." I came to the unit and I said, "Give it to me." I took with the helmet, started to work. I was all the time testing out things and changing things. You know. When it came to optical sights, I was not a very big fan of it because optical sights always made a problem. Operational, they always if you don't frequently check on it, or it's charged, or the batteries and everything, or you shoot, sometimes it hooks onto a rope or gear or something. It was always in the way, and it made you bulky. In our time, you know, I always had my bulletproof on, I had my knee pads on, I had my Danner boots on when I came back from America, because when I go operational, I put on the shoes that's good for me. You know, if I have to stand in the parade and look nice and pretty, but when I go operational, it was the thing that was comfortable for me.
It's functional. Awesome.
And train like you work. This is always the message.
Train
work like you fight.
Yeah, you know, it's good.
I had a fallout. I had a big fallout with one time I gave an exercise, and the guys all the time said, no, I wish they do a hijacking for us or whatever, because we were transporting money, you know, with from one location to another location, the National Reserve Bank in South Africa.
Which is very dangerous in South Africa.
Yeah, and so it was going over the bridges, and if I can show you the places, Motherwell and all these locations, you know, and this is the highway, and we went like 3 bridges, and the one day I imagined myself, I said, the guy can stand with an RPG and they can knock us out. And I said to the guys, yalla, come, let's go to the shooting range. Yeah. And everybody had their gear on and everything like that, and I said to him, okay, now you need to wrestle a little bit with one another. And I made them wrestle, like 1 minute.
Yeah, find out what you're going to do when you fight.
You cannot believe what happened. The one guy hit his chin open. Yeah. They didn't talk to me for 1 month, the guys.
He left you. Hey, you got to train like you fight, man. Question for you. What is the hardest lesson you've learned over your security career?
Wow.
Yeah,
It was
man.
one needs to be extremely careful when you talk.
Okay.
You need to be extremely careful with who you talk, and you need to know who you're working with, and you need to know with what you work and how you work and your time.
Okay.
The meaning is a lesson that I really heard is that I did a one time I did like a job, and what happened was we were not briefed properly.
Okay.
So the one guy, he had like a viscose shirt on, looked like very flower power type of 70 type of shirt, with a very elegant pants and everything like that.
The boogaloo
So
type
we
of,
came, yeah, and so we came. I was one of the TAC teams, tactical guys, executive protection guys, dressed nicely and everything like that. And we climbed out, and I was working with this girl. With a very good relationship. She was chosen because they needed a girl on the team. I was chosen because of my background.
Right.
But what happened was the person then deliberately stopped, and he stopped, and I was not informed. She was not know about this. And then I said to him, get out of the way, because we need to get the person out, because immediately, this is the client, you immediately see the threat. You see a person immediately approaching this guy. It's too close, and it's seconds.
Starting to happen. Everything's starting to happen.
And if you don't act, and I was called in and said, well, you spoke to one of the managers in a very unfriendly way. I said, but I was doing my work.
And that's what we have to do.
That's the very, very fine balance. But later on, I talked to the guys, when I had the chance, and I said to them, okay, what happened there is that we were not informed about the color code and the dress code. He said, you're right. But the lady that was working with you, she didn't like the way that you were talking. My own team member.
Yeah, this happens in the backfield, man.
Okay, so that was a very, very hard lesson for me. Another thing also, when I had to take this specific family to Africa for 1 month, I wrote entire security plan for the project. I know South Africa like the palm of my hand, each and every location. Then another team, the team was consistent. We were not informed about the team. So when the other team came in order to join us in South Africa was Israelis. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, they chose this guy. He could hardly even read English. And like you said, I'm the professor, and he was handed
he was like the private.
The security manual here.
Yeah.
And he was reading it. Okay. And immediately they put the guy into the position because of who knows what.
Some
because
political
of
thing.
Political thing. Yep. And here I was on the ground, was being there for 2 weeks already, planning the operation, riding the routes, visiting each and every point, making sure what they're serving, when they're serving, the exit and entrance routes to each and every restaurant, the entire itinerary. I studied.
Yeah.
Worked. And he came, he just landed 1 day before. He wanted to go to pubs and drink, and he wants to eat steak.
Hang out and have a good time.
Yeah.
He's being a rookie. Yeah. What's your proudest moment in the field, working in the security industries you've been in, in the different roles you've played? Proudest moment.
Proudest moment is when I jumped out of that airplane and they stuck the wings of my unit on my chest.
Outstanding, man.
That was one tough training thing. My friends thought I was dead. They thought I was not available anymore. We were not. The thing is about this unit, we're not allowed to communicate, not even with your family, nothing. When you were there, when I started, I weighed 80 kilograms. When I finished, I weighed 67 kilograms. And the first time that family members only saw me was after a year and a half. And I landed with a camo uniform right in front of my mother. She was the only one.
Man.
We were like from 1,600 applicants, only 13 made it.
Wow. I mean, man, that attrition rate I'm sure that is amazing. Congratulations, man.
So that was
Congratulations.
a proud moment. And then the second one was when I did study it in the academy, in the police academy, but I was not able to. I had to finish one subject I was not able to finish. And then during my time period in 2002 in September, I graduated with my degree. You know, that was also connecting the two with my practical experience and my education. That was also
yeah.
only one family member attended my thing. I was a very frugal guy. You know, I would never, like you say, I'm off the grid. Now I'm on the grid, but it doesn't bother me now. I'm the owner of Global Secure Consulting. Now I have the role of a CEO that I have to fulfill, and I have to make sure that I play the part. You know.
Yeah, changing with the times and the roles is very important in terms.
That's one of the things that people never can think. This is my proudest moment. What we're doing right now, sitting here with you right now, it's one of the moments I've been waiting for, in order to really to talk to people and to connect with people.
Yeah,
I think COVID-19.
Thank you.
COVID-19 is a gift. Because without COVID-19, I never would have met you. We'd never had this meeting. We're never able to sit down and talk and share this experience. You know,
that's beautiful. Everything's
in America. I'm in Israel. The time difference, but look what COVID-19 actually created. It connected the world. It put us together, professionals.
Yes, sir. That's good, and it made us up our game in many different ways. So
this is our proud. This for me. What I want to say. This is our proudest moment. You know, not mine. You know, I'm really for this. I really are thankful. I'm a very thankful person that I'm giving the opportunity, and also with you in order to speak to you. It's a great opportunity.
Man, that's an honor to hear that. Absolutely an honor to hear that. I couldn't agree more. Everything's a gift if we make it so, if we work and make it so, man. It's the mentality thing. That's like a key to life. It's so important, you know.
So if something breaks down or something goes wrong, right? Let's say in your planning or something, you know, God forbid, we never know. And we can plan as good as we want, because we plan everything that we can, but you always have Murphy. You know, always Murphy comes.
Murphy pop quizzes. Yeah.
Murphy's law. It always comes in, messing around with our communications or something like this. So if you look at that present moment, you know, it's a gift, and you change it into a gift, and not as a problem. If you change the situation into a gift,
how can this make
you would understand?
Yeah.
Because if I take the situation. If I take the situation back again with the guy with the fancy shirt and everything like that, all those people, a week later, they got audited.
Wow. And that's what happens. The garbage takes itself out.
By the Private Security Industry Regulations Authority. Wow. You see, and I was angry that I was kicked, that they pushed me out, but look at that, you know. All of a sudden, they were audited, and there was something not right or not correct about this. You understand? So you as a person are always eager to work and always eager to work with companies. You always try to be out there and grow your name. But as a younger guy, never take the time in order to do diligence, because you just say, okay, you keep your mouth shut, you get your money, you go work and everything. That's one of the things that I learned. I don't work with anybody that I don't, I do my work. The same with you as well.
Absolutely. I have to have a connection, a relationship.
You have to have that connection.
I have to feel okay about it, believe it or not. And then everything else has to line up.
And due diligence. It's very important. Very important. Yeah.
So let's get into Ortec a little bit, my friend. You know, Ortec, who are they? What are they doing? Let's start talking about that company.
Okay. Ortec is already 10 years plus in the industry. They are certified also by the Ministry of Defense. They have done a lot of projects, concerning blast-proof technology, you know, from antennas, from secure buildings, from anything that you can think of concerning blast proof. Now, this technology was not made available to the public. We know why. And because of COVID-19, it started to change. And then it was made available. Now, the reason being why it's not going into the American government, because the American government wants this product to be certified by the DOD. But doesn't need to be certified by the DOD because it's just a plate that gives the protection. It's like building material. So Ortec came out of the viewpoint, there's a house, okay, you build a house, this is your house, beautiful house, and all of a sudden you realize, okay, so you see situations, you see the economic situations, you see all of a sudden the dynamics of the place we are living are changing. Right. It was an upstanding neighborhood, and all of a sudden everything is changing.
Right.
And now you realize you need a panic room.
Exactly.
And they came from the thing is order to, I've built a house, and now in Hebrew they say, chaser li mashu. I've now, there's something missing. Chaser li, it's something is missing. Okay, chaser li mashu.
I want to learn to speak, man. I want to learn to speak. With you guys, man. It'd be an honor. But anyways, go ahead.
Okay, so there's something missing. So the something missing is always like the Israeli startup mind, the innovation, and then they designed the system. System is approved by the Ministry of Defense. You saw the videos, you saw what it can do, and basically they designed doors and windows and panels and a safe room, which people can then basically take a room that a desired room that they want to do. If they put in the application for what they want to do, okay, the engineers come out, they do the engineer support, because a lot of this work is to do also with engineering, with structural, because you cannot just put this thing in. There also has to be a proper foundation as well. So the engineers will come out and say, with this house, there has to be a structural reinforcement has to be done with the building as well. And then their thing is, then their system that they install, which basically is the best technology currently in the market. There is no such thing, okay? You worked in Afghanistan, you worked in Iraq, you did your tours as a Marine as well. You know that this technology, you worked in security booths with concrete. Because why? Because it's cheap.
Because it's the best thing, that they can afford.
The government doesn't want to invest in a technology that can save you as a soldier, because there are so many.
Yeah. Well, and so I think that's what's important here. And unfortunately, I didn't get to do Afghanistan, but I was in Iraq, and I've been all over the world and seen these structures and things.
Doesn't matter that place
and
there.
I've been in some explosions too. But I really value the fact that this technology can help people build safe rooms and safe spaces in their existing homes. Clients, VIPs, this concept of building a safe room and a safe space in your home, because as we see, American culture is changing, the world culture is changing because of all these pandemics and various different things politically and whatnot. It's becoming more and more in demand, and it's becoming more and more important to be able to develop protection. People are starting to just value protection more, to develop a safe space in your existing home, So that's one of the things that I got really excited about when I saw this product and how they can come and install it and how lightweight it is and all these different things, man. So that's I'm really honored to be able to that
is a technology. I've been in the industry for a long time. Okay. I think it's now 25 years already.
Wow.
I haven't dealt with something like this. Okay. Something that can stop an RPG. Wow, if that was something like that in my lifetime, or police stations that were attacked by all these terrorist groups, explosions that I had to go through for 2 years in South Africa, that is something that cannot explain it, what bombs really do to people. Not just that, witnesses that had to protect with it. You won't believe the bad places. I will not use foul language, because I think as a professional, foul language is also not needed. So they put you in very bad places, on tactical places. And this is a state key witness that I had to protect.
Right.
I called my commander and I said to him, I'm leaving. He said, where? I said, I'm taking this guy to my house.
It's safer.
Safer than where you're going to put me. They put me on the street, brother.
Yeah.
On the street. The road, the house is on the, it's 1 meter from the street. I said, these guys can come and they can spray and pray me with an AK-47.
Yeah.
Entire tactical team out training. And my time, each and every operator was worth out training my time. Okay, 1998.
Yeah.
And I finished when I started this is $1 million each and every operator in South Africa. Now that is a lot of money.
Right.
Today I don't know how much
investment.
That and so we were 4 guys, so there were $4 million, and with a state key witness that knew everything about these people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and they put us in this thing. And so when I saw this, I said, why not have it for to go? People have current projects right now, real estate development people, right? They develop places. He builds his house for $1 million, or he builds his house for this. This thing can be implemented. You know, it doesn't damage him, it doesn't hurt him, but he has real security. A thing that's been tried and tested in our field, you know, a thing that's been certified by the Ministry of Defense.
Mm-hmm.
You also, as you know, in the beginning, we talked about Israel's vision, Israel's sense of security, the way that we look at things.
Right.
If you look at our history, we're constantly under attack. So wouldn't that be the best product if this is a product that really is being tried and tested? It's like Coca-Cola. You know, you either take Coca-Cola or you go for Pepsi, you know, but we know that Coca-Cola is Coca-Cola and Pepsi is Pepsi.
Pepsi, right.
Just to make the thing. So for me, I'm also very excited about this product. I'm very excited that we can collaborate and talk about this, because you are in this field. This is your field, and this is a thing that people really can make use of. You know, it's not just safe rooms. You know, you have a server. Your company, one of the high-tech companies, cyber companies. Now people know that you are my enemy, right? And who's going to? Maybe I make a fire, and try to burn down your building. This product also protects the servers against all this damages. You know, antennas. This is the success stories. If you go to their site, I don't know if I've sent you the links.
Yeah.
The amazing stories that they've done, worked over all the world, and the things that they've done, even for POTUS, for America, when it comes to visit Israel, things that we've done with this technology. It's absolutely amazing.
What would you say is, so I guess, like, how does it work for the public? Just, you know, say you want to implement a safe space or a safe room in your company around your servers, or a VIP says, hey, Byron, we need to build a safe room, a safe space for me and my family to go. And I called you up and I was like, hey, Yehuda, we got to build a safe space for the clients. How would that work with the company?
It works based. It's a very simple process. The person has to have his building plans. His building plans has to be a registered, an authorized building plan. Okay, he has to have a building plan from the municipality. But if he has his outside structure, it doesn't matter if you bust down the walls on the inside, because as long as you don't move your building lines, it's internationally like this. If you don't move your building lines, it's nothing. If you want to have an extension, then the person has to put in his application, obviously, in order to do an extension in his building property. Now, each and every building property and engineering thing is different for each and every country. Okay. So let's say for America, you have a house and the person saw that he has a basement, and he can now turn this basement or another area in his room on top or whatever, he can turn it into a protection area. Basically, the first thing we'll come out and we'll do an evaluation of the property together with the plans. The engineer will then come out, design the specific design, sit down with the client. I will also sit down, you also sit down and advise, because you would know what is the day-to-day activities of the client, what his needs and what his capabilities. We will come as from a different side. I'll do my security file together with you and see, okay, maybe this is what we need. This is maybe need to be added and everything like that. And then the engineer will then put up his report, and then we will say, this is the amount that it will cost. because there are engineering reports together. There's also final signing off of the engineering report. There's also the contractor that you have to use in America, or you want to choose the South Africa, not the South African people, the Israeli people to come inside, and in order to come and work. Here it's more about the business thing. But for the client itself, when he comes and he asks, he will basically put in a request, a request for work.
Okay, and
then there will be like then a price estimate, and then he needs to understand, okay, people need to come out, they need to do an evaluation, because it doesn't help. It's like I'm coming to say to you, I'm going to build a dollhouse for you, and I come and I tell I'm going to put in super things and everything, and then at the end of the day I just take some kind of a panel, put it together, and I bugger off, and then the wind comes and blows it down. It's like the Three Piggies story. Either you build your house with straw, with sticks, or with bricks,
or with stones and bricks. So basic overview of Ortec as a company, and then also with regards to this safe room product, what do people need to know about it?
The product itself is a top range, top shelf product. Okay, you're not gonna make it's not a bad decision when you decide in order to upgrade to this type of technology, because this technology was not made available to certain end users. Now it's made available to the private users. Okay, the testing of this material and this product is been tested in Israel on the standards of American explosive standards, NATO standards, and European explosive standards. So the product itself has not been tested in America, but all the standards, all the ratings on the website, if you go there and look at the protection, they follow all the specific blast-proof ratings, right? So it's meaning they did tests in Europe, like when I showed you the other video and the thing. And the installation process is extremely simple process. There's no mess, no fuss. It's quickly and is ineffective. Because you can imagine to yourself, if you have to have a house now and all of a sudden I have to bring a concrete structure, or I have to build a concrete structure. How much time? You have a client now that's in peril, and there's some kind of a danger that you picked up. You know, with a concrete structure to build we called it in Hebrew a mamad, a bomb shelter. It takes almost 1 month. This is 1 week installation.
Wow.
But what we have to remember in this entire process, there's engineers involved. Okay, so if the person's structure, his foundation, is not accordingly, you have to work according to the engineering reports, okay, and according to security analysis and according to requirements. But the installation itself, it takes like it's 7 days of installation, and then it's in. Bob's your uncle. And then you have something that's serious. The windows and the doors and the panels itself, it's fantastic. You know, it's against a lot of various levels, and it also depends on your threat level. You know,
right?
That's
that's the main consideration, is the threat level. But I think for serious clients and VIPs, like some of the folks that we deal with in our industry, for sure it makes sense, and then also especially overseas, it makes sense. Can just curiosity, the technology can stop everything from bullets, RPGs, all the way up into bombs and all that stuff?
Of course, if this can stop I don't know who's going to get hold of a 1 ton of TNT explosives in order to kill your VIP. You know, that's a lot of blasting power. And this, as you remembered in the video that I showed you, it can stop at, I think, 26 meters, if I remember correctly, is a 1 ton TNT. TNT is dynamite, you know. So 1 ton, you are safe, 26 meters. So there is it's totally different. Not everybody has the access to explosives, to RDX or to plastic explosives. Only if you maybe a military guy or a terrorist or whatever. But if you go through the history and explosives, you know, your VIP, you know about the threat level, and if you say, listen, I want to build a thing for my VIP client, not because of paranoia, but we don't know, maybe something happened, one doesn't know,
Right.
an angry
Yeah.
worker, whatever, and you say the threat level, we have to put it to 1 ton structure, 1 ton bomb structure. You can do that. It's
But I think everything in between as well, just knowing that, yeah, it could go up to 1 ton structural protection. But the fact that you can build a bulletproof room, and the fact that you can build a room that can defend it against RPGs, because we know RPGs have been destroying things for a long time.
No, that's for
everything
sure.
under that is very important as far as a safe room, because I have principals asking about safe rooms now much more often. I think it's a very good fit, and especially that the installation, as long as the room meets requirements, the installation can be quick and efficient, and it's not as costly as some of the other options we see out on the marketplace. So those were kind of some of the things that I got really excited about. We saw and I'll roll the video where you see this thing take a blast from a 1 ton one ton explosive bomb, and it's pretty impressive, man, because it's,
you have to understand that all of these things are tested, right, with
right,
because what happens to an explosion, it explodes, it's an implosion also, so it makes a vacuum and then it explodes, so it's sucking in the air and sucking it out. So if this technology has not been tested correctly, the person inside the structure itself will go kaput. So that's why Israel built the technology, because we've been under a few bombings, I think, in our history.
Yes,
so this when I saw this, I said, well, this needs to go out to the correct people. It needs to get out to the serious people, serious market, because this is a serious product for serious people that really wants to do something for their security.
Yeah, and that's exactly same here. When I saw the videos you sent over, I was kind of like, man, this has got to get out to the greater industry, because it's a measure of protection, and the convenience, and even the price point, and the capabilities that a lot of people have not had access to in the private sector yet.
Because 100%. It's concrete all the time. It's concrete. Now, if you look at all the different types of bombs that are out there, and comparing the technology and the availability that the person, as a private person, have right now, it's amazing. It can be applied to almost anything. You just have to use your brain. The application of this product is magnificent for me as a security expert in the field.
Can you say, who's using it out in the field right now? Is it primarily overseas, or can you talk about different organizations that have implemented any of the technology?
Well, what I do know is that this technology has been implemented by various entities. Okay, so like when the president of America came over, certain facilities was reinforced with this material. Okay, if you go to the success stories, people asked about various areas, but they don't mention the names because of NDA, non-disclosure agreements. So obviously, it's out there. If you go to the success stories, that will give you more a straightforward answer.
Right. Yeah, and I think just people knowing that, hey, guys at the top of the game are using this stuff. It's out there. It just further validates the reality that, it hasn't been accessible to the public yet, but it's been out there in the field.
It's been in the field. It's been tested. It's out there for the people. It's now there. It's made available.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you remember any of the success stories that we could talk about real quick?
We have one of the things that they start fighting terror with iron and glass. So it was an embassy housed in a modern building made of iron and glass. The project required special skills to manage highly complex structures. Okay. There's no mentioning of names. Long live the president. Like we know, is that when the president came to visit Israel, he even has windows that protects against RPGs and anti-blast, shockwave shooting, burglar doors and windows, And this was all done because of because of the hotel's demand, but it was also within weeks, just in time for the president's visit. Then we had the secret escape route.
Wow.
There was a large African country, not mentioning again, where there was something happening, so they was able to do an escape route for threats. And an interesting thing that we also have to remember is hazard waste. You build some kind of a factory, and now you have ammonium nitrate, right? It's a problem, and now you don't know how to store it because it's extremely flammable and extremely explosive. So this is also a thing where ammonia that's in the tank or whatever, and if this explodes, you can lose your entire factory, because of the production of ammonium nitrate, right?
Right.
So we have this hazmat system structure that's been built in, and they also have as you remember, the regarding NGOs, when people are going overseas, going certain places, then they have these containers which can be set up very quickly. This technology has been made available to everybody. It's not been advertised, okay, because it's been governed by the Ministry of Defense, okay. So the technology, it's not mentioning of the names because we're not allowed to connect the names. So if you go to success stories, you'll see they don't mention any names.
Yeah. But we'll see what information they can share. Yeah, man. I'm definitely excited about this. It's an honor to be able to, help bring this to the market. I'm sure, a lot of guys in a lot of serious details are looking at this stuff. If you want to get your principal the highest level of protection in the game, this is the highest level of protection in the game right now, ladies and gentlemen, especially when it comes to hard rooms and everything in between. And I love the multiple different applications, everything from guarding your power plant, protecting your hard drives. And it's interesting because the security industry is so expansive. There's all these different things now that we need to continue to protect. If you've got a post in an area where that you may be attacked, you've got to build a post that won't be easy to destroy. Otherwise, we've all heard the term suicide post. So there's a lot of applications, and it's an honor to be able to help bring this to the private security industry.
And remember the one time in Pennsylvania, there was like 3,000 during COVID-19. Luckily now the vaccine is coming out. So, but during COVID-19, about 3,000 ATMs were bombed.
Wow.
In Pennsylvania, right? Where these portable cash machines got being destroyed and damaged, and all these people that it's like a vending machine, and all these people that you're a vending machine owner, now all of a sudden your only income that you have is broken. Or you own a jewelry shop, and now you have some hoodlum coming and break your window. Or because I saw that all the people went and they put up OSB board, but OSB board I can still burn. So if you invest a little bit of money in your jewelry shop, in your windows, or the canyons, or the supermarkets, these big places, so that the people just can go and loot and break the windows. So everything is aesthetic. It should not think that these things are going to look like a safe door, right?
Yeah.
So they make it according to the requirements. If you wanted glass door that can handle a person that wants to blow it off or whatever, it can handle that, until the people can come, the proper authorities can come there. So the product itself is not just for security detail, but it's also for business owners,
Right.
And remember when happened, what happened with George Floyd and Black Lives Matters, how many areas were attacked, and the people and the organizations behind this, and how many actually
shop owners and
shop,
jeez,
but
man, the
but
riots and
Jewish shop owners were actually being looted for what reason ever, don't know. But if you go after this, you'll find it is BDAs,
interesting.
the terrorist
Deeper
organizer. The
underneath
BDAs
the
were,
under the
were the
layer of the Black Lives Matter is
were the people that
yeah.
were actually stirring up the 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 people
The
and using this
dissension.
emotion, the boycott, divestment and sanctions organization. Okay, it's very
Okay.
very good to know about that. This was actually the organization behind Black Lives Matters. And if you look at the areas that been targeted, all of a sudden they started to attack synagogues, they started to attack jewelry owners, jewelry shops, and everything like that, and sweeping and stirring the entire country. And
Yeah.
that was actually for me was a thing. And to take Ortec product and bring it to people, shop owners, that they don't lose in these
Right.
big riots. How much money do they actually lose? If you are a real estate development, this is also, it's not just for security people, it's also for the real estate development. Because I was trying to try to get to JT Fox and Frank McKinney. He's the $14 million guy designing houses on the coast for winds and everything like that. But if you have people that we can get this product into big real estate development, okay, then they have already the product already included. So if the person is going to buy a house, right, then he already has his safe room already. So he purchased a
And the
house
value
with
goes
a
up.
with
Yeah.
a value of a safe room. So that also increases the value of real estate. So you should not just focus with this product, okay, not just with the VIP protection and security, but we should try to get this out to
The
real estate
civilian markets.
developers,
Yeah.
planning and surveying organizations, people that can build, people that are building, a contractor. Here's our contractor, but they're renovating houses, and then you have a team that we come and say, this is a house, but this is addition of a safe room.
I think because security, and it's one of the things that is my mission, security is something that every human needs, and the more you have, the more you need it. So it's getting this out to, we need food, water, shelter, but we got to protect the things that we need, So
You have to
getting
do
this
that,
out to the civilian, yeah, man, getting this out to the civilian market is so crucial. And I think so many hardworking, good people have learned that over the course of this last year with riots and things taking from them the things they've worked for. So that's good stuff, man. It's an honor. All right, so we have getting into our some of our closing questions, a little bit more about you, Yehuda.
Okay.
Yeah, man, I'm excited about this project, man. But let's see here. Let's see what else we can get about my man here. Who do you nominate? Do you nominate for the podcast? I always like to ask this one. Do you have anyone in mind that you think would be really interesting, or that would like to be on the podcast, or or you think I should talk with?
I should think you should speak to my friend Shane Willard that wrote this book.
Okay.
This is he's the. I'll show you again.
The author.
I send you the
picture.
And he's an author of 2 books. He also wrote this, The Truth About Self-Defense.
Okay.
And he's quite a magnificent person, very close friend. We know one another. We work together in very dangerous operations. And it's we out there to make a mark and to leave a legacy behind. Okay.
Outstanding. That's
and this is a guy that I think that really that about for security and for other purposes as well, in order to interview him. I will send him your details. I'll send you his email. I'll connect you, and you guys can hook up with one another. That is if you look at his podcast on software, which I think I sent you, you can go look at it and listen to him. And extremely well. You can say he's the only guy in Nigeria that has like almost 10 gunships that he's running underneath the Nigerian army.
Wow.
Okay, yeah,
in
that'd be an
Lagos.
honor, man.
So he's
he's working. He's doing real deal stuff.
This is one thing that I wanted to ask you. Did you ever
Yes,
thought
sir.
about what do you think about this Garrison bespoke clothing that against 9mm and stuff like that? Did you ever seen that suits that
Garrison bespoke.
$20,000 suit against? You don't know about this?
Man, I have not. I've not. You're broadening my horizons, man.
Wait, I'm
Yeah.
gonna wait. I'm
Send me a
gonna
link.
Garrison bespoke. Wait,
I'm
Garrison.
gonna have to look into that. I've been using gray man suits, which are very tactical and very comfortable, and they hold up. I can move in them. It's probably the best tactical suit I've ever found. They have weights in the pockets, and they have cut resistant sleeves, but nothing bulletproof that is good enough to be like next to a civilian client and not obviously be bulletproof, really. I've got Innocent Armor is another company I work with as well, and they make tactical clothing that is bullet resistant as well. I've not heard of this other company you're speaking of.
Not it's nanotech technology. I came across this company when I was doing research for knives.
Mhm.
I was looking for a shirt that you can wear, and I remember when I was in America, the only bulletproof I got from the police, right? When I went back to South Africa, what the normal your normal patrol officer is wearing is like a very thin thing, and then he has a small little plate here on the chest that can stop an AR. Yeah, that can stop an AR bullet and a stabbing. So then I was doing research because the people were being stabbed heavily in Israel, right?
Right.
And I found out that there's nanotechnology that basically are together with, if you go look at the dragon
skin,
dragon skin, a Kevlar vest, the technology that goes into that. And then, so the US Army, your government basically designed nanotechnology. Nanotechnology is this type of technology that the people wear in when they go to how do you say to hospitals when they get operations and everything like that, so they don't get skin rash and everything like that. You don't need to wash it. It doesn't stink, nothing. So what they basically did, they used nanotechnology into shirts. If a person stabs you, it hurts like hell, but it doesn't penetrate, so it doesn't kill you. This is my technology, right?
But ready,
so ready preparedness. What comes to suits? So now we have to protect the structure of Ortec.
Right.
We have Garrison bespoke suits that you can give to your client and yourself. You can also, it's only $20,000, but I think I would rather wear a $20,000 suit. Did I had to write a one of the subjects, so I looked into assassinations. And I looked at the assassination attempt, especially on Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
And if those people had those suits, they wouldn't have.
It wouldn't have been as bad.
Because in our field, in executive protection, right?
Yeah.
You cannot just go and put yourself. You're not a human shield.
Right.
So if you have some money that you can invest for yourself and for your operators, if you go, let's say you take your client to Africa, you don't want to get killed and shot. That $20,000, you're coming back to your beautiful wife and family.
Yeah, 100%. Good, man. Well, I'll check these guys out. That's a very interesting. First time I've heard of them. Let's see here. Favorite quote, favorite mantra. I think you said a really good one earlier. Actually, there's no second.
Yeah, there are no second chances.
Yeah, man. That's
there are no second chances. We have from my unit. It was you never lived until you have almost died. Life is a special flavor the protected will never know.
Yeah, that's so good.
That's our.
I've heard that before, actually.
Yeah. That is our basically the things that I live by. But there are no second chances. This is what I basically. But I try to make a second chance. With
that's our business.
It's in order to give the person a second chance. In order to I have the safe room, But what comes together with the safe room, implementing strategies, protocols, policies with the people, training. It's not just about the safe room,
Yeah, it's never just about the gear. Yeah.
Bringing out personal security more, making the people more aware of his own environment, his own place around him.
World.
That's very important.
Yeah,
okay.
100%. No, I agree. The software has to go with the hardware, otherwise it's a waste. The gear is a waste. How would you like to be remembered, Yehuda?
Me?
Yeah, my man.
That I made a difference. That I really made a difference to the people with the knowledge and the expertise, because I cannot be, you come to a certain age when you're operator and that you're in the field, but then later on you have to come, like you said, when you saw me, I'm like the professor in security,
Yeah.
And I would like to go down as a person that really made a difference and had a really good impact on various people, in helping them and consulting them and showing them that, it's not just, a lot of people think it's about muscles and it's about speed and it's gear and everything. But if you're not trained properly and you don't know how to handle the team and you don't know how to work together and the communication is a blunder, then the entire thing is a blunder. I can have the best trained people in the world, but if the person that's giving the communication, if the communication line is not connected with one another, then it doesn't work. So you have the commander, you have the team leader, and then you have the team members, and then you have the reaction team, and then the emergency response team, just as an example. Now, the person that's in charge of all of this, he needs to know, he needs to have the flow, to work with a client. Should you speak? Should you not speak? What happens if I'm not there? Who's taking over? The chain of command, sometimes in our industry, it's different. Sometimes you'll have a guy that's working for you, but you never heard about, he never complains, he never talks. But when you work with him, all of a sudden you just feel everything is flowing, right?
Yeah, he's
you
just
take
under
him
the
out,
radar, he's doing his job. Yeah,
when you take him out, all of a sudden you feel there's like a, it's
rhythm.
It's not going the way you want it to go.
Oh, it's not going the way you want it to go.
Yeah, there's like a
like a I know it's like a false start, like an insecure.
It's not the way you don't want. It's not the way it goes. It happened with me when I was in Greece, when they brought me over, and then the Greek guys, they are very militaristic, ego. They
ego. Yeah, I remember going to Greece, and I was like, these guys. I noticed it. I remember being like,
their appearance, physical appearance, and everything. I came there.
I love them. I got good friends over there, but it's something that's real.
And when I worked with them, all of a sudden they asked the one guy, said, "Where the hell did you get this guy? It's so easy to work with him. He knows everything. It flows." I just kept quiet. I just did my job and did the things that I know from my experience. And then later on, they started to approach me and ask me. And then once they understood who I was, and I was in their circle of friends, now we're friends for life. They keep on communicating, keep on contact with me. And that's the thing.
That's good.
And that's what you always have to remember. As a CEO of a company like you, okay, have to remember that sometimes you don't evaluate your team. Sometimes you just miss that guy that's not, and the people. It's all about, we are in the people business, because if you don't have those 100%. People anymore, it doesn't exist anymore. So we need to, when we grow with a company and move forward, we need to create that harmony for everyone in order to work in how do you say it? To work in harmony
effectively. Yeah, man. No, I just recently had a situation where I had one guy on a detail who was like a cancer. Second I got rid of him, everyone's happy again, everyone's positive again, everyone's flowing, everyone's protecting each other. You get that. Yeah. It's amazing. What would you say is a habit that you suggest people implement in their lives that will make them better people, better protectors? Maybe one of your habits, a habit you've seen.
My habit is always be aware.
Yeah, that's
always be aware of your first thing. There's a thing that irritates me the most when you ride in public transport,
Sitting there, yeah, the Black Mirror.
It's always, you know, you can, they go. It's like, oh no, die. So, so that's
don't pay attention to anything.
And that's the problem with the technology, because the people don't have the self-discipline today to understand that, even though we have all this nice technology that God created the earth, He created a beautiful environment for us to enjoy. But we have to use our beautiful eyes also to look around, because you are, at the end of the day, you are a professional, not just not just that you work all the time. Okay, we are very security-minded people as well, but other people, the civilian people in my field, they also have to be aware. Be aware. Pay attention of things around you. Awareness. Small things. If you pay attention, you can prevent a lot of things that your kid won't most fall on the floor, or if you don't pay attention, you're gonna lose the
advantage.
You're gonna lose the battle.
Yeah. Why don't you be a victim? Outstanding, brother. No, I agree. Okay. Awareness is everything. And then lastly, where can people find you, and what are you up to these days?
Well, I have my website, I have my LinkedIn, my Facebook, and I'm currently in Israel waiting for COVID to bugger off. to like bugger off. Just to please God, just take this, whatever it was, just take it away.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I think we all are.
I'm available on my website and the LinkedIn. They can contact me on LinkedIn. Whatever, I'm available for whatever they want. Services, consulting, being chat there just to meet. It's not just about business. It's also about what other people said, like JT Fox said, it is his quote, relationship capital.
Yes, sir. That's big.
It's about,
that's everything, man.
It's all about that, and smile.
Yeah, that's so big, man. It's my number one weapon is a smile. I'm telling you.
Because you can have a guy, you can have your client that's so upset, there's a blunder, and you can smile, say, hey, good morning, how are you, man? It's a beautiful day. And just that
positivity.
Smile, just that smile changes your entire flow of conversation. Because if the one guys go like this and like this, both are angry, then it doesn't go anywhere. So always stay calm, smile, and try to make a difference in each and every person that you meet. There's always a small thing.
Yes, sir.
Small thing matters. Yeah.
The small things matter a lot, man. They accumulate, That's good stuff, man. Yehuda, I see so many reasons me and you get along so well, man. That's good stuff. It's been an honor having you with me on the show today, especially someone with your background and experience. And I'm even more honored that you would help, involve me in bringing this out to the game through the podcast, out to the private security industry, out to the civilian market and things like that through the podcast. And I'm glad we're connected, brother. Thank you so much for your time today.
And hopefully in the future, we can work together. We get to America, we get there, and we make a difference. Byron, I'm telling you, I think with your brand that you've connected, and with my skill set and with my knowledge, I can really make a difference in everything that we are doing, changing a lot of things, the way that people are working,
Yes, sir.
And
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
And happy holidays for you. Enjoy your Christmas. We had Hanukkah.
And happy holidays and Hanukkah to you and your beautiful family as well, my friend.
Okay.
We will talk soon, brother.
Okay. Right. Thank you very much. Okay.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Boom. Yo, what up? I hope you guys really enjoyed that episode. Hey, listen, in order to get more out of the brand, I want to encourage you to go join us on our social media platforms and join us at protectornation.com. We post different types of content on our different platforms at different times. You'll get blog posts, you'll get videos, you'll get real world combat engagements and things like that. So stay plugged in order to get the most out of the brand. In order to support us, also go to protectornation.com and buy something, or join forces with me on Patreon. You'll scroll down the homepage and you'll see the link. Anything you can give counts. Think about whatever you would lose in your cushions or like spend on McDonald's this month, $5 a month, whatever it is. That helps us make the world a better place by making good people dangerous. Anyways, this is Byron Rogers, protector by nature and by trade, and I'll see you on the next piece of content, whether it's a video or podcast. Out.